Testing the levels right here. Testing, 1, 2. Hey, Brett, how you doing? IDK Archer, or IDKarcher, as the robot says. Just getting all everything set up. My system fucked up on me last time, but I had to do a hard reset. Like legitimately, I had to do a factory reset of the Arteria Keystep Pro. But now it's all in working order. This will be a fun stream. Just give me about 6 or 7 minutes and I'll be starting. You'll be able to see me. All right. I might start a little early. If you are watching, feel free to click below the stream. There's a little panel right there. If you click that, it'll add your name. It'll add your little character bouncing around the stream. That'll go throughout the entire stream. Hopefully when I switch over to the other camera, it maintains it. You don't have to click it again. Sometimes it does that. I think it's when I switch to a camera that doesn't have one, and then I switch to another one, it has to reset it. All right. I think I might start up a few minutes early. I got my water, took my piss, got all ready. All right, I was gonna do the whole intro thing, but since we already got the music going, so you've just been listening to this basic patch that I have set up. So I think it's a 64 bar loop, but really I guess you could say it's like 4 bars that are just really stretched out. But I have it 64 bars so I can add a lot of stuff in between that. You can get real crazy with it. What's exciting is so I did have to hold on, I did have to hook up, or I had to factory reset the Arturia, the key step right here, the main brain of it, and because of that I was actually reading up about it and seeing what other things I can do with it, and now I have it sending a MIDI clock from the drum brute over to my microcord, so that that little thing is getting the clock from the drum brute, so it'll stay in that But yeah, it's pretty cool. BMO's account. How's BMO's account doing? Just saw you pop up. So I'm gonna be just building off of this because it gets a little annoying, you know. I'm gonna drop this one out though over here. Now we have a bass right here. Basically, we have 2 different voices. We have a lead voice that's coming from the braids, and I have that routed into the carbon filter right here by WMD. Beautiful unit. And then I have that getting a sweep on the filter sent from this 4LFO Behringer unit. So it has that one. It's a slow sweep. Hear it open the filter and close the filter as it's running that. I was tweaking it for about maybe 15-20 minutes before I started up the live stream. Just this patch to get this, this going. So I've noticed that. I don't know if anybody else who has a key step, sometimes it'll just drop out the signal like that. How it dropped it out for a second. It's usually pretty rhythmic, so it's not a bad thing. A lot of times it's fun when one piece of one element of the melody or whatever drops out for a second because it opens it up, or where you're expecting it to be, you can hear it in your head kind of thing. But I didn't intentionally do that. That was the controller fucking up and just dropping a note. But it's rhythmic because it's staying with the gate signal. It has the clock, so as long as it stays with the clock. But let's add some more. Let's add an arpeggio to this. So I don't have another voice hooked up to this controller. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up a new voice to it, and get experimental with it. Now this is going to be a little bit of a routing. You see all these wires right here. It looks like this because I have two voices running. It takes this many wires to get those two voices to do what they're doing. Because they are, like, I have this routed to... And I also have the drums routed to this too. So it's two voices in the drums, I guess you could say. That's what all these cables are. Okay, but let's add another voice. Oh, you probably couldn't hear me right there. This is like a 20-foot cable right here. Maybe not that long, but it's pretty long. Possibly a 20-foot cable, actually. Not going to need that for this. See how it dropped out? It just randomly does it. And I noticed that it dropped both voices at the same time. It did the bass and the lead. Sometimes it'll do either one intermittently. I don't know. I don't know what causes it. So I'm just looking for a cable that is long enough that I can span from the Arturia to... I want to take it and I want to add it to my multiplier over here. Ooh, I think I found one right here. Okay, I want to take this from my multiplier so I can actually send this signal to multiple voices, and then I want to control several voices and interplay them with each other. You'll see what I mean. So I'm sending the pitch signal, the voltage per octave CV control voltage through this cable right here. Put that in a multiple, so now what that does, that takes that signal and it multiplies it, as it's called. So I'm going to send this signal to several different voices now. So when I press a key, now I'm playing 2 or 3 synths, maybe even 4. No, actually I think I can play up to 3 different voices off that single multiple. If I want to, I could daisy chain the multiples and do an infinite amount of voices, but I'll probably just do 2. See how it dropped out? The bass dropped out, but then it comes back in rhythmically, so it's not really a problem. It just sounds cool, but I didn't do that. And see how the bass dropped out, but the lead continued playing. I mean, it's okay because it's rhythmic, but say I had a song that I actually wrote instead of all this live jam shit, and it drops out and it loses notes, and I'm like, hey, you know, I was like, this is supposed to have a note right here, it's not supposed to drop out. That could be a problem, you know. Oh shit, I just saw the hydrate. So I've been so focused on getting this all set up, but I got... Cheers. We are starting with 32 ounces, I believe. Usually by the end of these live streams, this thing is fucking empty. 32 ounces in whatever, 2 hours or so. Okay, so let's transfer these to voices now. So I have 3 different multiples I can send out. So I'm gonna send it to the knit over here. That's funny how it dropped out right there, right when I was plugging it in. So I'm going to send this to the knit. Now I'm going to send the knit to a VCA so I can give it a gate signal. You'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm going to actually also have to multiply the gate signal. I didn't think about that because if I'm controlling several voices, I'm going to have to send out several different gates to all of the different voices. So I'm going to have to transfer this gate signal to another one. to find a cable that's long enough. There we go. So now I'm sending a gate signal to that multiple, and then that will send the gate to all the different ones that I'm sending to. So first, we're going to take this NIT and we're going to put it through a VCA down here. And now we're going to route the VCA, which is a voltage controlled amplifier, and we're going to send that to the mixer. This is going to give us a raw signal. It's probably just going to be going really annoying. So after I first get that signal, I'm going to unplug it, and it's just going to show that I first got the signal. I don't want to listen to the tone go for, you know, forever. I am controlling, or I'm routing this through an inner. I can't really think of the word. A mixer within another mixer, like a mixer in the thing. You'll see. So that's why you can't hear it right now. Okay, you can kind of hear it. It's pretty low because I haven't turned this up. There it is right there. So what I want is I want to send the gate signal to here, the voltage controlled amplifier, so it'll basically tell it when to control this knob right here. Go. You know, and then I'm also sending a notes like the VCA, so or the pitch, so. Right there, so I'll be controlling both of those with this one key. So I'm taking the gate that I sent to this multiple and I'm sending it to this VCA now. So now when I press the key, I should be able to open and close that. See right there? So now I can find the exact threshold that I want, so I can get the full note potential without, like I can open the gate without letting a little leak out, essentially. So, because you can hear it. Do you hear it? Really quietly. It's that right there. So what I'm looking for is I want to make this quiet enough. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong number. So I want to make this quiet so it doesn't make a sound, but then I want it loud enough that you can hear it. So I have these 3 different knobs that are going to allow me, and there we go. So now I have the instrument right there, and we can. Okay, so we have the other voices, and now we have. But we could go through different voices in this because that one sounds kind of ugly. So let's see what we got here. Actually, I want to tune this. I want to tune this first. So that's another thing we're gonna do. It's gonna sound kind of annoying. But we're gonna run this through this quad scope right here, and we're gonna get this in tune with everything else because this has a tuner in it. Cool. Okay. So now I'm gonna run a tuner through this. There we go. Now we have a C. So we have a... So I just put that as a... so we have the 3 different tuners running right now. You can't hear what those are putting out with that. But you can hear this. But we have it in tune. So now let's bring it in and make it music. Oh yeah, I wanted to go through the different voices now. Sounds like dialing a phone. Let's bring it down a little bit. Fun to automate this, kind of going through this. This gives us quite a... It's the morph knob, so it's morphing through waveforms right here. And then I have such heavy harmonics on this that it gives these crazy different, like, here I'll find it. Where is it? This, like this. You hear those harmonics? Kind of around here too. You could probably get them really ugly and gritty if I really tuned it in. But what I'm gonna do, ooh, I like that too. Okay, so I'm gonna automate this. I'm gonna throw an LFO on here, and I'm gonna clock the LFO, so it's gonna here. I'll just show you. Slowly run through these waveforms to a point where you really can't tell that it's shifting until it's already shifting. And then what I want to do is I actually want to run this, I want to give this kind of an airy vibe. I'm gonna run this through a reverb unit that I have. It seems a little too raw, you know, it sounds robotic. I want to make it sound like it's a robot in a cave. Amplifier built into it. There we go. Now we can bring the volume back to reasonable. give it some reverb. You know what? I think I want to throw this through a filter too, because it does have that really hard edge on the top. I think I want to smooth that edge out, throw it through a low pass filter, and then just open up the low pass filter, have it like kind of a limited oscillation of the low pass at the top range of it, and then so it'll give it some modulation, give it some movement, and it won't sound so harsh, because even though I'm running it through the reverb, you can still hear it cut. Right there, you hear that? Okay, so I'm gonna run this through a filter, and then I'm gonna modulate the filter. So instead of having it plugged into the filter and then unplugging it and doing all that shit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up all the modulations and then just transfer the voiceover, so there will be very little downtime between that. So I'm going to be doing a lot of plug-in and stuff, and you're not going to hear anything different. And then I'm going to switch over the voice, and it's going to route through all these effects. It'll be dope. I'll probably have to tweak it just to get it perfect, but it'll be dope. Trying to think of the routing right here, because I want to route it through the quad scope first, give it the raw signal. Oh, so it switches that. I'm seeing the oscilloscope, because now you can see all the different little elements going on. I love it. It looks cool. See the bass line, see that slow rising thing, see the, I don't think I have the drums routed through here. Or are they on the top? Let me get back to this filter. we go. Now we got it running through a filter. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute all the other tracks right here, and just focus on this to get the filter perfect. So what I'm gonna first do is I'm gonna get the filter perfect, and then when I put the rest of the mix in, I'm gonna tweak it right there so I can mix with everything and it'll fit in, you know, all the frequencies. Nothing will get too muddy or too tinny or anything. But it already sounds pretty good if you hear it. I can make it go a lot faster, I want to do it nice and slow. Okay, so now I have the reverb. Let's give it like a nice cave sound. I want it to sound like it's a wizard in a cave. So this is the Wasp filter I'm running it through. The Wasp is it was an old synthesizer from the 80s, and it had this very specific filter in it. And they've replicated it right here, and Dopefer was able to replicate this very specific filter, which gives it a very buzzy, like if you ran a square note through this, oh, it would give it so many great harmonics to filter in, because it's like not just a straight filter, it's a very specialized filter. You could probably look it up, but it is a filter class in and of its own. And I really like it. But right now I'm tweaking these very gradual things. What I should do is run it raw. So now we can hear what it sounds like just by itself. See how that filter? So it's filtering quite high and quite low. So what I want to do is I want to limit that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this signal. Where is it? This one. That's giving that sweep. And I'm going to send this into a voltage-controlled amplifier. Now, these are also considered voltage-controlled attenuators. So what it's going to do is it's going to take a signal and you can attenuate it, which means I can actually shift. It's not just like a basically on-off knob or an up-down or whatever, you know. I can actually shift the spectrum that it's going to be operating on. Here, I'll show you how I do that. Where did it go? There it is. I was like, what the fuck? So right now it'll be, so you can see it. Wow, that's powerful. Oh, I just realized I was fucking with the wrong amplifier. That's why it was so powerful. I was actually doing the amplifier of the thing. What I'm doing is this one right here. There we go. So that's the full spectrum of it. This is all the way open. So now I'm going to, between these two knobs, I'm going to narrow that spectrum sweep. So now do you notice that it's not hitting those weird, crazy, like, here, I'll do it like that. I'm controlling the, yeah, see how now it's going way, those low notes right there? So now I can control how high it'll go and how low it'll go. And here, I'll do it faster just so you can see how it's doing that? So I can control the sweep. See, you hear that? Because I sped it up. But if I just have it like this, see, this is the slow sweep. I can control the max and the minimum by using these two knobs. So I'm going to reduce the maximum so we don't hit those crazy high notes. And then I'm going to bring up the minimum so we don't get those crazy low notes. And it's going to give us a gradual sweep. Hold on. It's a very nuanced thing because it's basically taking a signal and attenuating it. That's why it's a voltage-controlled attenuator. Now I could send a CV through this and control the voltage. So I can basically make it, I could even span this and make this automated. You know, I could run different stuff through that. But here, I'll bring all the different music back in now. Now we want that reverb, remember? So now it's not as hard and harsh. Now it's just kind of like something that you discover when you're listening to rather than a lead. It's still a little harsh for what I want, so I'm gonna there we go. I like that. It's not as hard. Now, that was one voice that I'm sending there. But I want to send that to other voices. So I'm going to do that. We're going to send that to the same channel too. So you're going to be able to hear both of them on the same channel. I'll be able to mix them independently. So I'm taking the multiple of the pitch. Send this one over to let's go with the Dixie. Now the Dixie, I really like this one because it is a very, it's the IntelliGel, a great company. It's very stable, the oscillator in this. So you can go through 8 different octaves right here from really, really low bass, almost like an LFO, like a low frequency oscillator, all the way up to, you know, shit that only dogs can do. Stable the entire way. If it's a C note on the third octave, it's just going to be a C note on the 8th octave. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to give. I'm also going to take the gate signal that I have. But what I want to do with this, because what I could potentially do, I could slow this arpeggio down. So right now it's going. I can make it go like something like that, and that'll give more time for me to fuck with this voice and add an ADSR on it. So here, I'll show you what I mean. So now do you see I slowed the arpeggio down? There, rather than I slowed it down by half. Okay, so now I'm gonna keep this the music. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it a little bit louder. But I'm gonna keep that. So now we're gonna be focusing on these two voices interacting with each other. So right now I have the Dixie plugged in there. But but I don't have it routed out. I'm gonna send the gate signal to this, to a VCA, and we're gonna do the whole same thing that we did with the last voice. But then I'll show you. Okay, so now I gotta figure out why I'm not getting a signal from this one. Oh no, because I did the wrong knobs. Hopefully I didn't fuck up anything. I wonder what this was that I was routing. Oh, it was the yellow phone. So stupid. Okay, so now this is the knob that I should be putting. There we go. Oh, I have to tune this. I haven't tuned this yet. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a little boring. I'm going to stop it entirely. I'm going to unplug this too. And I'm going to tune this right here. Okay. I was like, where the hell is that channel? Okay, so I'm going to run this. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm going to be running this into here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to route it into this channel. So now it's a square wave. That's a heavy square. I think, do we have a square on here? Or should... I guess because I'm running it through the sub, so it's really, really heavy. I could run it through... There we go. Now we got a sine. Okay, so I'm going to... go to the tuner on this, and then we're going to give it a note. Oh, I should route it so I can hear it. There's no better tuner than your ear. At least for me. Okay, so this should give us... let's see. There we go. So we're gonna go. So we want this a little louder. I'm wondering how we can route this, because I have it so it's holding the note. Okay, yeah, we'll tune it at this. So we have it at perfect C right now. So I could drop it back to what I had it at before. And now we could press play, and here we go. I don't remember what it was playing before I erased it when I was tuning it. I thought I was going to be able to just put it back. okay. Something weird. There we go. I had a weird, it just like stopped sending the signal entirely. I was worried for a second. So now, as you hear, it's just following the exact same thing. Sounds like a horror movie soundtrack. Yeah, see how it's just giving a raw note? What's up with that? It's like, yeah, it's like, and then it's back. Why does it do that? That's something wrong with the KeyStep Pro. And I wonder if it's just my unit, or is it everybody's unit? Do I have some faulty thing where it does that? Or is that just an expected behavior from this this controller? It is kind of an industry standard, so I can't imagine that a professional would be using this on stage and it would do stuff like that. That would piss me off if I was on stage. I mean, I'm kind of on a stage, you could say, like a live, this is a live performance. And when stuff like that happens, that is, you know, it's not supposed to happen. Wait, where's the bass? Oh, it might have been one of the knobs that I fucked with. I killed the bass. Let's see, I have to follow the routing. Oh, see how it's doing that? It's not giving the notes. It's just, and then it comes back. How does it decide that? It's weird. My bass is gone. My bass. Oh, and see how it's just hitting that note, and then it brings it back. So weird. So weird. I don't know why. And then now, like, I'm trying to bring the bass back, but I can only barely hear it. Like, listen. Like that, you can barely hear it. But it says I'm getting a full signal. See, it should be coming in louder. I'm not sure why it's... I wonder if it's the mixer. Let me put it through a different channel. Okay, so it's not the mixer. Let's see if it's the quad scope. Yep, it's the quad scope. Okay, so now we got to figure out why the fuck the quad scope just went quiet on me. Here, I'll bring back all the music so it's just not just silence and me clicking buttons. But then hopefully soon the bass will come in. Down here, and then we got all the 4 different voices. We have 4 different voices going right now. Now I'm going to start fucking with this voice. Actually, I think I want to slow it down a little bit. I want that kind of thing right there. I want a filter that bounces with the notes, like. So here, I'll do this. Weird, it just stopped. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah, why does it do that? And it holds it for such a long time. sending out wrong signals, it's dropping signals, it's not following the specified programs that I give it. Like it fucked up the entire screen last time because it wasn't even sending out control voltage. Like it's just been a real headache. And the thing is it's a new piece of equipment. It's still under warranty, I would assume. Hopefully it's not like just like a 1-year warranty. I don't know, maybe. I was saying I wanted to go kind of bubbly sound. just noticed in chat there was the advertiser, and Id Karcher is now a moderator. With my quad scope, I might just have to transfer this straight. Yeah, see, we have the bass again. Yeah, I was routing it through the quad scope, and it looks like the fourth channel on that quad scope is failing me. got that in. Showing it on the chat, seeing if anybody was watching or just listening, I guess. Super cheesy, it's super stupid, but I love it. It's good because it's bad. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slow this down, bring this to an ambient trip out sesh, and then we could build a whole new track and build up a whole thing. So here we go. So this is a granular sampler. So what it does is it takes samples and it cuts it up into granules, basically little segments of sound that you can individually stretch or shrink or manipulate in all sorts of different ways. And how a granular sampler works is you can either play them back to back, all the samples, or you can shift them all around and play them in different orders, and it really chops it up and gives a real trippy, glitchy effect. You can also get reverbs out of it. You can get all sorts of different stuff. Granular samplers are incredibly versatile. You can get a lot of weird shit out of them, a lot of weird effects. I like doing these trip out psychedelic ambient parts with a granular sampler. So that's how I'm doing this entire sound. It's a granular sampler with a reverb following it, so it just kind of glues it all together. Messed that up. What I'm trying to do is build up this bass line. Just bringing in the old beat. I wanna swap out the beat though. Oops. Alright, so now I've completely wiped everything from that and we've restarted. We still have this ambient kind of weird trippy shit that's been going throughout this whole thing. But let's build something new, something chill. I want something chill. Something to vibe out on. Okay, so just basic. I want a bass line now. I like that bass line from before. Man, it keeps on overwriting my recorded thing, so I've just restarted it. like those notes. I'm gonna search out something that sounds better. Man, this keeps on. It'll see. Look at how it does that. It keeps overwriting, even though it's not supposed to be hitting those. This thing is a nightmare to work with, and it is the brains. It is the one conduit that I can control everything. It's my main controller, and this thing keeps on fucking up on me. Nightmare. You see how that it just keeps on. It'll overwrite, and then it adds in. Listen to that. And then it drops the note, and then it's back. Yeah, what is this shit? Like, piece of shit, man. I'm gonna find whoever designed the Arturia Keystep Pro, and I'm gonna take their kneecaps as punishment. There we go. Their kneecaps are saved. So I'm going to give this a slow. I want to slowly open that and close that. So I'm going to transfer this. To attenuate this. There we go. we go. We got something nice and chill.
going through a bunch of different synths to find out something that's good on this. Like this one. 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 There we go.
have something for this. I don't know if it'll work. He was a loner, though he was my best friend. We were stoners, but we don't confess it. After school, we'd meet up at his pad. Mom always at work. He never knew his dad. He wasn't sad. He embraced the freedom. Never thinking when his path started easy. Smoking weed and drinking. Till it seemed that he was binging every weekend. I guess that just wasn't enough. Began taking pills for thrills, and just because it's all fun, never hit tough times. Pill after pill until the sunrise. First he was cool, then he was just high. Then he was depressed, progressed to cut lines. Hope took its toll on his nose and his soul. Hoping that blow wouldn't open that hole of descending despair. Wishing it would pass by the end of the year. He was ditching every class or sitting in the back, tripping on a tab, just flipping and relax, just to slip into a lapse. Wouldn't see him for days, never answered his phone. Walking in a haze, talking all alone. Who'd have known he left that blow behind him? Coping with copious opiates to unwind him, shoot it inside him to keep him from crying, keep him from caring, keep him from dying. I'd find him nodding off in conversation, taking trip after trip to his kid in the basement. Couldn't eat, he couldn't give two shits. Speckled with scabs on his loose, bruised skin. Soul grew thin, was doomed, it loomed in the gloom that consumed his room, entombed him. I extend my hand to help sound alarms, but he just used it for the belt round his arm. I couldn't take it, couldn't stand to lose a friend. It usually depends on who you chooses in the end. Said he would quit after this one last time, one last spike, one last line, one last smoke, one last high. I didn't know it'd be his one last night. Next morning, he just wouldn't awaken, no matter how much his mom was screaming, shaking, pleading to the ceiling that he was just faking. His lips gone blue from the drugs that he'd taken. I could clearly hear the tears inside my head as she held me and said that he was dead. I couldn't comprehend that I'd lost my friend. No matter how I tried, I can't see him again. I'd lie in bed, drained and reminiscing. Stars in my vision, wishing back his decisions. I miss him, but he was just a milestone on this long and winding road that climbs inside my soul. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This was a fun live stream. Real chill. There's always troubleshooting as always. As always, it's a FREAKBAiT classic to have some issues happen, but it's fun. At least it kept going. The last one, it completely told me. But it was that was a fun time. Thank you for coming in. How would I pronounce that? Is it just BMO's account? BMOCO? BMOCO's account. BMOCO? Thanks for stopping in though. That's fun. This is just Modular Mondays, so all my streams aren't like this. This is on Mondays. I have I do a Modular Jam. Sometimes it's a lot more dancey. Other times, I don't know. There's all sorts of different stuff. Sometimes it completely fails. But then on Tuesdays, I have a daytime stream. I believe at 2:30 PST. I have the whole schedule on my page. On Thursdays, I have a gaming stream. And then on Fridays, I have a midday kind of stream. And yeah, I'll see you all on that one as well. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to fade this slowly out. Just bring this to a nice, good ending. And I'll see you next time. And always remember, FREAKBAiT loves you.
And you have a good Monday.